My blind date is the famous murderer, the 1-cent killer. But honestly, I don't think the guy's got a criminal bone in his body.
You're saying you had a date with the guy who stabbed for a cent?
Sophie, keep talking.
My parents hooked me up for a blind date. Honestly, I was shocked when we first met.
Shocked?
Martin, the so-called Pennyworth killer, he was super casual. Felt like he was being dragged to this date as much as I was, which kind of chilled me out. I told him my parents were on my case, too. He totally understood that.
All right, Ms. Hughes, why are we questioning Martin Douglas's guilty plea?
Guilty plea? I don't know where else was I supposed to go, Mr. Chase. I saw a pamphlet that said, "You and your agency solve rumors." Now Martin has become famous as the Pennyworth murderer. The cops and the lawyers, they just don't listen. You seemed like our only option, and the pamphlet said it's free of cost. So...
Well, Sophia, you've come to the right place. Now, why don't you continue about the killer?
That's what I was saying. Martin didn't strike me as the killer type.
Interesting. One meetup with Martin Douglas and you got him all figured out?
It's not about one meeting.
Then what is it?
Martin's looking after his sick mom. The guy is all heart. He didn't even want to touch the whole dating scene. That's where I'm coming from. If the urge to kill ever crossed his mind, he'd think of his mom first. No way he'd go through with it. But the press, they were ruthless. And the cops, they dug up some nasty stuff and Martin had no option but to confess to the crime. Someone getting brutally stabbed over 1 cent sounds out of the world in itself. And imagining Martin doing it, it just doesn't make any sense. He's half the strength of that victim. Think about it. How could Martin have overpowered the muscular victim in the first place?
Okay, I'll take your case, Ms. Hughes.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Can you prove him not guilty?
What do you think, Ethan? Is there any truth here?
That's what we have to figure out, Alex. If Martin is truly the Pennyworth killer, then there has to be a motive behind the killing.
And if he's not?
If he's not, then we have a rumorous case to solve.
Finally, my very first case with the renowned eccentric detective, the Ethan Chase. Why are we in this park, Ethan? I thought you'd have a plan of action in your mind.
Just play along, Alex.
Okay? Guess he has some plan in his mind.
Ah, what a cute dog. Isn't it, Alex? Look at that dog, so adorable.
Looks like Mr. Chase is working his angle.
I'm surprised. This dog's usually shy. Why is it so friendly today?
Maybe because I used to work at a pet store. Got along well with most dogs. Those days at the shop were blissful.
Hey, did you two just run up that pathway there?
Yes.
Oh, are you a couple?
We just got married, actually.
Wow, a morning full of lies.
Say, do you live in that complex?
Yes, why do you ask?
Ah, nothing important. Just that my wife and I considered buying a place there, but I work at the bank. Salary's okay. Could afford it, but we heard about something that happened at the beginning of the year. A death?
A death? The Pennyworth murder incident, right?
The Pennyworth murder. So that was Ethan's angle. Wow.
It must have been a shock, living so close, and then bam, out of nowhere, a murder.
Yes, and now no one dares to live there. Only been a few months, and the landlord doesn't know what to do. The victim's family even came around making a scene, blaming the landlord, wanting to file complaints. Ridiculous.
Tragedies are tough on everyone.
Right. But I always suspected that man would end up in trouble.
Oh.
Yeah, with his tattoos, the burly look, hanging around shady types, smoking and drinking late into the night.
I've only heard what the news reported.
What's the news gonna tell you? Personally, I think that delivery guy murdered in a fit of rage. Makes sense to me. Why skimp on a delivery fee? Miss a few pennies and it's disrespectful, not to mention the guy looked like he had it coming. This time he crossed someone bad, and that was it.
A murder of passion?
That poor delivery guy, Martin Douglas, barely had any muscles to pull off such a crime. At least in front of the victim, Martin was just a cat with sharp nails, but no strength. Think about it. The order's bill was $10, and the guy paid $9.99. Some say it was a typo, but I don't think so. When the cops arrived, blood was everywhere, right across the floor. Anyway, it's just gossip. Don't have to pay it any heed. I'll just go walk the dog some more. If you do move into our complex, just let me know.
So, Mr. Chase, this was the real reason we came out here this morning. A park visit.
Let's go.
Mr. Chase, the woman's story? Something to it, or just superstition?
There's truth in her words. This case is full of irrationalities. Although anything can happen in a deteriorating world, if death is involved, even a meticulous criminal leaves an array of clues that should fit together seamlessly. Yet there's something peculiar about Martin's Pennyworth murder.
What do you mean?
Let's say you ordered delivery and it's late, you get the package, make up for the balance due. Why would you intentionally shortchange by a penny?
What if the victim was busy and got annoyed by Douglas's insistence?
If that was the case, it'd be simpler to refuse payment, cite damaged goods, or threaten a complaint. Why to embarrass someone over pennies?
It's quite strange indeed. Mr. Chang might have been excessive.
You literally can't do an error from typing 10 to typing 9.99. It's literally impossible. The placement of numbers on any keypad won't allow that kind of error. It was not a human error.
So you're saying that the victim, Chang,
Paid 1 cent less intentionally. Yeah, that's what it looks like, Alex. And this points to a new angle. That the victim and the murderer knew each other from before. Else, why would he pay 1 cent less intentionally?
Oh my God. I think we have a rumorous case in hand, Ethan.
Time to undrape the graves.
To know more about the killer and to solve the city's most notorious cases, read Rumor Agency, only on Dashtoon. Download now.